Oh my God. Welcome back to another exciting episode of the Spitball Media Podcast. We're going to spit out the top entertainment stories of the week. Halloween season in full effect. My name is John Draper. Joining me, my friend in Philadelphia, but he does not care that the Phillies lost yesterday, Mr. Shaheen. Shah, did you even know they lost last night?
The only way I found out is because people were thankful that the city's not on fire.
Yeah.
So I had no idea. You know me, I'm clueless when it comes to sports, dude. I have no fucking clue. Until they win a Super Bowl or a World Series, that's when I find out about it and I attend like the fuckery. But otherwise, I have no idea what's happening.
You don't look out the window to see why something's burning and then go, oh, we had a sporting event tonight.
Yeah, well, luckily, I live in the woods now. I'm on the outskirts of Philly, so I don't see the fuckery right outside of my window anymore. But when I used to live in Philly, though, I mean, dude, you didn't have to watch sports. You could hear your neighbors do commentary on it. The whole block would do that. You knew you were in tune with like involuntarily. So I mean,
oh my God,
yeah. At least I've escaped that. I don't look forward.
You'll need to Airbnb like a cheap apartment one night when we record, just so we could incorporate it into the show.
I used to hate it when I lived in South Philly, man. There was so much activity constantly, 24 hours a day. Like it was just fucking screaming, fighting, beer bottles shattering, crackheads outside. It was just constant and nonstop. And like on a fucking Tuesday night, you're just trying to chill, man. You're not, and it doesn't necessarily have to involve. And it doesn't have to involve you, man. Like, in those areas, some shit goes down and a shooting happens. A bullet might come through your window. So it's like, yeah, it's very uncomfortable. You can never really just like relax. Those were my college years. I voluntarily.
Well, I'm sure you miss it. By the way, my kid is flying in there tonight to go to see her boyfriend at Temple. So she'll be there all weekend. And of course, he's the king of the Midwest. He's rooting for the Detroit Tigers. His name is Mr. B. Show Brian. B. Show Brian, what is the status? Detroit's down a game. What's going on here?
Did they play again today? Because I thought they were up. I thought it was 2-1 Tigers.
Detroit. Yeah, 2-1 Tigers. Are they? Yeah. So now, because they got to be playing. I don't follow the American League, but it's exciting nonetheless. My friend from Michigan texted me this morning and said a Mets-Tigers World Series would be the most insane shit ever. And I agree, B-Show.
I said that to brother Joe. Joe's been texting me. I feel bad because I followed Tigers during playoffs more than during the regular season, and Joe texts me all the time about the Tigers. So I kind of feel bad. I let him on a little bit that I like the Tigers more than I do. But the other day we were talking because the Mets were winning and Tigers were winning. I said, hey, how sweet would it be if it was Tigers-Mets World Series?
Well, B-Show, they're losing in the 8th inning to the Guardians 4-3 right now, who would tie the series up. So we never know what's going to happen. Folks, if you're joining us for the first time, this is not a sports podcast. We're just excited because it's playoff baseball, kind of, sort of. But if you're checking us out for the first time, consider going to our patreon.com/Spitball Media Podcast. Shaheen, for $5, joining now is kind of like joining during the high season, if you will, because there's so much activities going on.
Yeah, $5 won't even get you a box of Band-Aids anymore, Nothing's $5, except for us. So enjoy it while it lasts, which it'll last forever because we're not going to change the price. Best deal on the planet on the audio airwaves. $5 a month gets you probably like 1,500 worth of
it's a lot.
Hours of audio now. So you can go back to 2020. We've been doing this shit for over 4 years now, which is crazy.
How is that possible?
Yeah, it doesn't seem like 4 years.
How is that possible?
I couldn't believe that. I was like, nah, there's no way we've done this for 4 years. And I'm like, wait, we started this show because of COVID. So yeah, it is 4 years. I was like,
I guess so. Wow. B-Show Brian, is that right? 4 years? And is this still the most affordable premium program package in the business?
It is. Absolutely. You get the Q&As every month, except for this month, because we're substituting that out for the watch along, which we'll talk about later. Mm-hmm. Rich Dow says, you are my $5 little whores. Well, we're proud to be because like the guy said, it's just, we're appreciative of you guys following us. A lot of you since day one. You've been friends with us for a long time in many cases. We go back a long way. So we're very appreciative of everything. And we don't feel like gouging you guys and raising prices. So enjoy and go check out the bonus content, the vault. Some people put their vault behind a paywall and a higher tier, and I get that. But that's not going to happen with us. Lots of content. You can go back and check it out anytime you want.
No, and of course, you can join right now and get in on all the goodness in the high season. We have tons of stuff on deck. There's tons of stuff in the catalog. $5 a month. Patreon.com/Spitball Media. B-Show Brian, who do we got chilling in the chat tonight? I know we got the old Rich Dow. Hey, now to him.
Yeah, Rich Dow, Marquise,
What's up?
Drew Yari Experience,
The Yarsifers.
Chris Matthews,
Love the Chris Matthews.
Mike Roche,
Mike Roche. Hey now, Mike Roche. Is that Robbie DeJarlais chilling with us tonight as well?
and Fatty 316 from the Bayou Geeks.
The Bayou Geeks is chilling. The Punches is chilling as usual.
Always. Kevco
As
TV's
always.
there too.
Kevco TV. I know the Kevco. What's up, Mr. Co? Wow. Guys,
Luke
we got a lot going on.
Wasikowski, Terrell.
Terrell's chilling. Who else is in there?
Luke
Luke.
Wasikowski.
My good friend Luke. Known him a long time. Guys, we got a fun show tonight. You're going to have a lot of fun. We got a big show planned, but I just want to get this out of the way for the Patreon. This is definitely something exciting for us, Shah. This is something we've never done before. We've been talking about this for a long time, but we finally nailed down a watch along. Is that not correct?
Yes, sir. I'm actually looking very much forward to this because I watch. Well, they don't do them on YouTube anymore, but they used to allow it where you could do watch-alongs. So I've watched quite a bit of them on different channels, and I've always wanted to do that concept. So we've never done it. I'm super excited for it. It's the perfect season for it. You know, I mean, Halloween, October, it makes sense for us to do this. You know,
Yes.
So I'm definitely looking forward to this, man. It's gonna be fun.
And of course, our friend Slave Cheeks just joined in. But B-Show Brian, give them the big announcement, the time and the place for the Patreon exclusive watch along for the first one ever in the history of Spitball Media.
Yeah, Rich Dow, you'll be glad it's not on Halloween. We all have too much
No,
shit going
of
on
course
then. It's going to be 4 o'clock Eastern on the 20th. It's a Sunday. Nice chill day. You can go out on Saturday and party. You can hang out with us Sunday afternoon. And for those of you across the pond, it'll be the evening for you. We try to make it earlier to include everyone because we know we have quite a few people in the UK that enjoy the show. So enjoy. We'll be there live 4 o'clock. We're still trying to figure out what service to actually use because, to be honest with you, Discord is a fucking mess and a labyrinth to navigate, and I think we can do it better with a different service. So we'll let you guys know as soon as we have that detail knocked down.
Yes, and of course, this is a Patreon exclusive. We're going to keep the voting literally open up until the last minute for the movies. So what we're doing basically is we put a bunch of movies. We each pick 3 films, Shah, and we let the public decide, the Patreon public decide which film we're going to be watching. I mean, Shaheen, this is a horror movie democracy.
It is. That's exactly what I was going to say too. Yeah, so it's in your hands. You know, if you want bad taste, if you want street trash or the stuff, or Pumpkinhead, you got to go vote on it. And the voting is still open. So if you're on Patreon, I don't know why you haven't voted. You should absolutely vote. Even if you can't attend it live, you're going to watch the replay, so it's going to impact you. So might as well go ahead and vote on it.
Now it looks like we have a tight race here, guys. It looks like there's a tight race between 1, 2, 3 being a far behind. B-Show, can we give them the roundup for the top 3 at this point if we have a third in some distance there?
Yeah, number 1 is Wolf Cop. Closely behind is Pumpkinhead, and it looks like what? No, there's 3 tied for number 3.
3 tied for 3.
Uh-oh.
Split the vote.
Street Trash. No, sorry, 2. Street Trash and Maniac Cop.
Wow. Well, listen, the dark horse Shah could come out of the woodwork in the next couple of weeks and be Maniac Cop or something.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, I think it's going to be between Pumpkinhead and Wolf Cop. We'll see.
Okay. Well, it's going to be a lot of
fun. I
fun.
personally obviously want Pumpkinhead. That's
right.
my
Oh, yeah.
I fucking love that movie.
I love Pumpkin. I haven't seen it in a long time. Lance Henriksen. I can't believe that's how long ago that movie was. My God. B-Show Brian. I mean, this is we're witnessing horror democracy at its finest.
It is a beautiful thing. Especially, it's kind of funny that we're holding a vote at this time of year.
Oh, an election time. I didn't even think of that, guys.
And we're not talking any.
I know this is the closest you're going to come to hearing about the election.
I was going to say the 3 of us are so removed from political talk that we had no idea until I just realized it now. So
this is the closest you're going to come to hear about the election on this show. Believe it or not, trust me, you can take that to the fucking bank. But consider going to patreon.com/Spitball Media. I might want to bring in a guest or two, like a surprise, get a couple of people to do a walk on. But I've reached out to a one person in particular, but we'll discuss it offline. But guys, thank you so much for the Patreon love. Thank you for voting. Thank you for hanging out in the chat. But we got an action-packed fucking show here. Now, we caught up on some horror movies over the weekend, all of us. And we just wanted, since we brought this up last week, a lot more are opening up right now. Today, in fact, a lot of horror movies are dropping on all platforms today. I can't keep up. My God, between Max and Hulu, and I'm watching Grotesquerie right now on Hulu.
Oh, yeah. Are you caught up?
It's wild. Yeah, it's not as good. I could have been a lot better, but they're getting away with like dismemberment and sewing bodies together. I was like, holy fuck it. It's a very dark horror show, man. Like,
Yeah.
wow.
I don't know if I know exactly what's
Yeah,
going
me too.
on
I don't know what's going
or
on.
if I have no idea what's going on. It's either one of the
But I'm
two.
interested. But I want to know who the killer is. They got like priests in bondage clothes, Shah whipping each other, and fucking a pervy nun, and
Mhm.
like a cop whose daughter is a dead ringer for Lizzo before the working out. But Shah, it's worth checking out if you have Hulu.
Yeah, I actually I'll have to check it out. I actually got a lot this week. I got a lot came out on physical media. I got Maxine this weekend.
Yeah. Oh shit!
So,
Wow.
yeah,
Okay.
so I got Maxine. So next week I've definitely seen Maxine by then. And I
Oh,
also
wow.
got Kinds of Kindness. I forgot about that movie. I just got
Kinds
that.
of Kindness. Yeah.
Just came out
Yeah,
Tuesday.
I saw the TV Glow just hit Max along with that other horror movie about we don't know if it's aliens or site within the woods and the bayou. That I forget
That's
the
a
one that
series, right?
no, that's a film. I think
See,
that's a film. Is it
I
a
confused
series?
that. I went to watch Teacup the other night, but it's like 10
Teacup is the
episodes.
series on Peacock. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
There's so much of this
Yeah.
going on, but it's a fun time to be a horror fan. I just want to get this out of the way. I watched Salem's Lot over the weekends. A lot of divisiveness going on with this movie. Now, before I say anything else, I want to read the room here. Shah, you have not seen it.
I've not. I've seen a lot of reviews on it.
Mhm.
Pretty much exactly what I expected from watching the trailer. It looks a little
Okay.
too actiony for me.
Yeah.
And from my understanding, the vampire does not. They didn't do it justice.
B Show, you did not watch it, right?
I did not. I've heard people say it's not terrible, but
It's not terrible. but
not
it's not
scratching
great.
the itch.
Yeah, if I was disappointed, I thought it was a choppy mess. I thought the lead was terrible. I just thought the plot was like kind of wishy-washy. Didn't like the ending, but I mean, it's got some good, decent stuff in it. But I was disappointed in this. You know, I see some people, liking it. I see some people hating it. Joe Punches did not like it either. I don't. My brother Mike loved it. He thought it was great. He doesn't understand why it's getting such a backlash. But it was a little weak. I just thought it was weak. I understand now why this took 3 years after it was shot to find a distributor. Shah, will you be checking it out of curiosity or just too many other movies?
Yeah, no, I'm definitely gonna check it out this month, sometime. I
Okay.
just why wouldn't they make it look better than the previous vampire? Because the one from the what was it, 80s or 90s? I don't know
80s.
when. 80s.
It was
Yeah.
like
One of my
81, 82,
favorite.
something like that.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
looks great. It's fucking
one of
great.
my favorite looking vampires ever. That thing is fucking creepy, dude.
Mhm.
And I don't know, man. I just feel like this one looks too modern. There was
Too
something
modern.
about the original. It was like gritty and fucking
And it's 1975.
gothic. Yeah.
So I don't know why it's modern.
This reminded, I mean, I haven't seen it, but based on the trailer, this just looks like a worse version of John Carpenter's Vampires. And I like that movie, actually.
Yeah.
That's more of a Western, but this seemed like a little too actiony for me, man. Looked like an action movie.
Bisho, what have you heard similar things? I know you're going to watch it too, but
I haven't heard anything specific. I just hear people saying it's good or it's bad, and most of it is middle of the road.
Yeah.
I've heard that even from people that didn't expect it to follow the original, that it wasn't really faithful.
No, not at all.
But like, I haven't heard anything
Maybe
about
more to the short story, which I've never
Okay.
read. Maybe more to the short story.
which is
That's
probably why Stephen King was over the moon about it. Because as
Yeah.
long as you follow his shit, he's fucking
he loves it. Yeah, he loves
Yeah.
it.
But no, I haven't heard anything about the creature. I haven't heard anything about the cast. I haven't heard anything about anything other than
I thought the
That's it.
cast kind of sucked ass, except for the kid who was good. But everybody likes the the little kid who was very good. But I thought the main guy, the writer character, was something out of a bad early 2000s WB show. Striari goes, Stephen King loves everything.
That's not true. If you go back to those 80s movies that were made off his books, he hates The Shining.
Yeah.
I think he hated Christine. He hated
Wow.
I think Tommy. He might have liked Tommy Knockers,
love
but there's quite a
Christine.
few
Yeah.
he hated.
See,
Well-
that's the thing, though. The ones that he hates are the good ones, and
Yeah.
the ones that he co-signs are dog shit.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I don't
Drew-
really trust him.
Drew Yari is saying that's Bill Pullman's son, the actor. He's not very good. I don't know. I could have got a better person. I just didn't. I don't know. He seemed like he was doing a bit. Kevco said it was mid. Yeah, it was very mid. It's not the look. If there wasn't 500 other horror things to watch, I might feel differently. But there is. Speaking of which, we all I think saw this weekend. VHS Beyond. We've been over the moon with the last effort of VHS You know, we've really sort of enjoyed this as a series. I'm going to say this: I didn't like it as much as the previous one, but the stories I really liked, especially "Live and Let Fly" is the my God, the airplane one. Bisha O'Brien, you were disappointed right off the bat.
I was. I think I wanted to like it a lot more than I did. I like the ideas of the concepts, but some of the I don't know. I don't know if it
Execution.
was the bad effects or maybe they got a little bit bigger budget because the other ones were more successful, so it doesn't really look as gritty and authentic. Like the alien in the orange grove, the idea is awesome.
Right.
Crashing from a plane into an
Oh, it's
orange grove
amazing.
and you're chased by aliens.
Oh, it's amazing.
The effects of the magnetism of the spaceship lifting the truck, that was cool. But
How
like
about
the
when how
actual
about when the person was bleeding midair through the air as they were falling because
that
they
was
lost a
cool.
limb? Oh
But
my
like the
fucking God.
alien itself was bad. And then the not the design, but how it looked. It just looked terrible. And then I like the idea about the crazy like dog sitter one,
Oh, that's
but
Justin Long. Justin Long wrote that and directed it with his brother.
and that idea was great, except when you see the creatures, it looks so fucking terrible. I couldn't. It was like every time I got excited, I've used this analogy before. It's like you go to Chipotle and order a burrito, and you're like, "Oh man, that seared steak is awesome." Is that a fucking Band-Aid in my steak?
Ugh,
It's
stop.
like it's like as much as I want to enjoy it, there's a Band-Aid in my fucking burrito. So, I don't know.
Jesus. But did you just you were disappointed, but you didn't hate it? Is that what you would say?
I didn't hate it. I like the ideas
Mhm.
in spirit, and I like a couple of the middle episodes. I can't remember which ones
Did you like the
exactly.
Bollywood one? I like the Bollywood one.
All
I
right.
liked when she just goes off. I like that.
Yeah,
It's
that's
fucking
cool.
nasty, dude. It
I'm
gets
trying to
nasty.
remember the individual episodes, but there's like the third or the
Police
fourth.
one, yeah. We might have to look it up.
The police one was cool.
It
That
was
was
cool.
cool.
It's
Yeah.
fun. I didn't know where it was going. You know, Stork. That's called Stork for obvious
Yeah.
reasons. If you saw it, Shah, you're a huge fan of VHS. I think you consider them like 6-1 in the series at this point, as far as win-loss column. Where would you put this one?
Probably number 4, I would say.
Okay.
Number 1 is definitely VHS 2. Number
Mm.
2 would probably be the original. Number
Yep.
3 is maybe 85. And then
Wow. Okay, I like that. I think that's mine. Wow.
yeah, I loved 85. I thought that was
85's
phenomenal.
fucking great. It's fucking great.
I had so much hope for this because of VHS 2. They did such a great job with that alien segment.
Yeah.
And I don't understand for the life of me. I know they're trying to be different. Why didn't we have a basic looking alien story?
I don't know.
None of these really reminded me of aliens. For example, like the first segment, I thought it was about zombies. They were
Yeah.
acting like zombies. I'm like, what the hell does that have to do with aliens?
Right.
And then I saw the bird creature, and I loved the bird
Stork.
creature. I thought the
Yeah,
design
I
for
love
that.
this. Me too.
I love that.
It's very
So
retro.
it kind of made up for it, but I was like, this, you could have done something different. You could have made this very creepy. Instead, I felt like I was in a video game. You know what I mean?
Mm.
With zombies jumping out. But the bird creature was cool as hell. I'll give him that.
Stork. Yeah,
The,
that's cool.
the Indian segment, the Bollywood one, I fucking hated that.
Really? I like the kills in it. It was great.
I could barely get through that. Like
Mhm.
what did that? That's not aliens, dude. That was like a robotic woman. I'm like, this is sci-fi. I'm not into this. This is
Mhm.
not for me. I hated the dog sitter. Same thing as B Show. I liked the idea. I was like, oh, this is about to get weird. And then I saw the creatures, and I'm like, what the fuck? Wait, come on, man. You guys had more of a budget than this. They look like furries. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it was silly. It looked really, really fucking bad.
Mhm.
The one where they fly out of the plane.
Live and Let Fly. I think it's
Same exact thing. I thought the idea was amazing. Execution, as far as the CGI with the aliens, looked like dog shit. I didn't like it.
the kills look great though.
Yeah. The last segment, I
Katie
fucking
Siegel.
loved.
See, people love that. My brother Mike
I
said that
thought
was
that
genius.
was a 10 out of fucking 10.
Yeah,
for
my
me.
brother
which
Mike
one?
loved it. The Katie Siegel segment, the last one with the girl with
The one where she
gets
goes
sucked
into
into
the spaceship.
Oh, that
into
was
the
cool.
spaceship.
Yeah, that was cool. but
Even like Drew Yari said, I couldn't see it. I couldn't
No,
get
that's what
the
I
only
liked.
thing that I couldn't figure out, the concept is cool. I like how it played out and the
Yeah, she gets
ideas. I
sucked into
couldn't
the
see
atmosphere,
to
yeah.
understand what was going on though.
That's
That
the
was the big
point.
deal.
Yeah, I think that was
That's
a
what I
little
liked
ill-advised.
about it. Dude, I felt like I was having a trip. Like
Mm.
the visuals and stuff. That's what I wanted to see. I didn't want to see it clearly. Like I thought that segment creeped me the fuck out.
Really?
Dude,
Wow.
that segment was horrifying to me.
I
The
couldn't get
idea
into
of
it,
going
man. I wanted
going
to.
into this fleshy UFO, and it's like and then it takes you with it because the door disappeared. That idea right there fucks me up. And then you can't really see the alien, so you don't really know what it looks like. But that shit looked creepy, dude. I thought that segment fucking was a 10 out of 10. And I don't know if you want to count this as a segment, but at the end with the alien going
Well,
in.
the wraparound, that's what Joe Punches said. It was very weak.
Yeah,
I didn't think
terrible.
the tie-in story, this was a
But
very
that
weak
looked
tie-in.
amazing though. Like that
It
looked
did when they
creepy
went
as
down his
fuck.
throat. That was fucking bananas, yo.
I liked the
That was
quality
bananas.
of it. You know what I mean? It looked like authentic, shot in the 80s, found footage shit, you know? And that's what I do. That last segment, dude, I thought that was amazing. The rest of it,
Yeah, a little. I was disappointed a little bit by it, but you know, B-show VHS is a lot like pizza. Even like not great VHS is still better than a lot of other people's pizza. You know, like even shitty pizza is better than no pizza.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't hate it, but you know, there was little things that bugged me. Like, man, this could have been so much better if there was a lot of that going on. So I still suggest everyone check it out. I love the series.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. It's very original.
I tell you, the
there's
one
a
thing that
lot.
bugged me about the Bollywood one is it's VHS. It's somewhat all supposed to be handheld. I like the idea about the paparazzi trying to get the shot.
Yeah, it's like an interesting idea.
But then it breaks out into a whole high def widescreen fucking Bollywood video shoot. And I guess they could have gotten the footage to justify it being in there.
Yeah.
But it was like, what? This isn't VHS.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, listen, it's very different. I don't think it's going to end up on our top fives this year. So,
No.
that being said, I recommend it. And shout out to Ogioki and AEW Neckbeards have joined the fray.
I'll tell you though, man, that last segment might be my top 3 favorite segments ever on a VHS series.
Really?
Yeah, dude, that really did something for me, man. Like I
love
really
that
got
segment.
creeped out by it.
That's the one that's Katie Siegel, Mike Flanagan's wife, an actress. She's in all of his movies. She's pretty fucking good looking. That's hers. She did that. Mike Flanagan wrote that, and Katie Siegel directed it. And
Yeah, I thought that
Justin
was
Long
nice.
and his brother wrote the dog one, and which could have been so much. I got news for you. Had I never seen any of the creatures, the dog one, I think that would have been fantastic, Bisha. Have we never seen
the creatures just look terrible. That was the biggest issue.
Yeah.
You know, they just look like furries.
But if you didn't see them and then it ended the way it ended, wouldn't you have liked it a lot more?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, yeah. But then again, it's not. What does it have to do with aliens? You know,
that was the one thing they said that was like a breakthrough, like a one. It has nothing to do with aliens.
Well, and the Bollywood one isn't an alien, or it could.
I thought that was an alien robot, like a robot. Like
it is, but it sucks. It's not. It's I don't know. I feel like they misled us, man. I was expecting fucking UFO aliens, not like sci-fi robotic.
I will say this. I said to my brother Mike from the Necromaniacs podcast, I would have loved a movie version of Live and Let Fly. Like if that was a fucking full-on movie where there's a long-standing thing of them hunting them in the fucking Orange Grove Beach show. Fuck you. I would have lost my shit. That could have been a Predator movie.
I was gonna say like a Midwestern Predator, or I guess South Florida with the oranges, but that's what I'm saying. The concept was great. If they would have given the budget to that whole segment to make the aliens look good, like they did in No One Will Save You, would have been a completely different reaction. I think it would have been one of my favorite things I've seen so far this year.
I will say this. I hated everyone in that segment. I couldn't wait for everyone on that plane to be killed. I don't know if they did that on purpose. I wanted everyone to die. Man, woman, doesn't matter. I wanted them all dead, Shah. I thought they all sucked ass, and I wanted them to suffer miserable deaths just for being annoying.
Yeah, another thing that bothered me about that segment was that No One's Gonna Save You alien that looked like a tarantula or scorpion. I feel like these were very similar. You know, that was kind of my issue with it. I don't know, man. I want when it comes to the alien subgenre, I'm one of those basic bitches. You know, like I like just a regular looking alien, gray, tall, gigantic. I don't need these like sea creature looking things. That doesn't do anything for me.
You're prejudiced against other aliens that don't look like traditional aliens. Okay,
I want basic bitch alien, man. That's the creepiest.
You want Blumhouse aliens? Just say I want Blumhouse aliens.
What movie did they do? They did a pretty decent alien movie. I forgot about it. I forgot.
Did they? Blumhouse?
Yeah, early Blumhouse, like 2015.
Okay, so they weren't as annoying back then. But before we move on to some other movie news, because we got a big debate here going to happen. B-Show, you saw Beetlejuice, and like everyone else I know saw it. I bet you loved it.
I did.
Real quick. It was called Dark Skies. I just searched.
Oh, people love Dark Skies.
Yeah, that's Blumhouse.
Yeah, Dark Skies is a cool movie.
Beetlejuice was fun. I mean, there's obviously some things that I don't know. Like there was one like a music scene that went on way too long. Could have been cut down.
Yeah, that's a little
The MacArthur Park wedding scene. That's
too long.
funny.
Too long.
Yeah.
I saw the whole scene today. I was like,
Oh,
why
did
is
you?
I thought somebody was making a bullshit thing. I was like, why is this leaked to the internet? I like because they're comparing well for Joker. That's why, but we'll get to that. That's why they put it on the internet.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So, but other than that, it was fine. Like, I really, for some reason, it puts me in a weird headspace when I hear like early to mid '90s kind of alternative Scott Weiland type of music,
Mhm.
and they use some of that in the soundtrack because it
What
goes
year
along
is
with the
this supposed to
story.
be?
Oh, it's modern, but
Oh, okay, I wasn't sure. I thought it was modern. Okay.
no, like they go back to Winter River and she meets a boy, and he's got a lot of retro vinyl and like,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So like
Okay.
I start hearing that and I start getting in the mood. They didn't do anything really out of the ordinary, like a lot of remakes now where it's like, wow, this has nothing. It's so disconnected from the source material. Like I don't even like it. It
Mhm.
was good. It reminded me of Beverly Hills Cop, where like it doesn't have to be the original, but they did enough to where it felt like home. The only thing that I'll say is that there's a side plot that doesn't need to be there and could be completely cut out,
Mhm.
but it was an excuse for him to get his wife, who is very attractive,
Oh,
and
Monica
Willem,
Bellucci. Oh,
yeah, and Willem
good.
Dafoe in the movie. If they cut
Oh.
that whole part out of it, it wouldn't have affected the movie at all because it really didn't add anything. It was fun and quirky, but yeah.
Now, B Show, are you aware that Monica Bellucci is the girl from Irreversible?
Which one's irreversible?
The one that people don't want to, the one that the first one that made people throw up at Cannes
Oh
with
shit!
the
I knew
intense
she's
rape
been in
scene
some shit.
with
Yeah.
the graphic 15-minute rape scene in it.
Oh yeah, that's the one. Yep. Yeah, I know
That's
that's her.
Monica Bellucci.
Also,
Yeah.
there's some people that think just because she's his wife and he likes to cast his wives that she's going to be the 50-foot woman, which I wouldn't be too disappointed with. But
Wait, he's married to Monica Bellucci now, Tim Burton?
yeah, I think so.
She was with Vincent Cassell for many, many years, who was also from
Because
Irreversible.
that's what people are saying is that's the reason she's in this
Oh,
movie,
she,
and I
oh,
I
really?
understood that when I saw the movie. So
That's yeah, he does like to cast his ladies. Shah, you've heard good things about Beetlejuice, right?
Yeah, most people said it's passable and enjoyable. Nothing like the original, obviously, but that's to be expected. I don't think anybody's going into it expecting a movie, 30 years later to be the same exact vibe as it was in the 80s.
Mhm.
I have it pre-ordered. I'm just gonna wait till it comes out on 4K, and I'm just gonna watch it then.
Yeah, I mean, there was so many other things going on. It like opened the weekend I was moving, so I was just like, well, I'm not seeing this. But it did very well. I think it did 400 mil. So it made good money on 100 mil. Yeah, she's in a lot, Monica Bellucci. She's in a lot of movies. She's irreversible. My God.
yeah, she is
Um,
married to Tim Burton, or at least with him. So
wow, Tim Burton, man, he's a weird, strange
also,
dude.
I will
Wait a
say
minute.
this: I don't want to ruin anything, but there's been a lot of flack against Tim Burton and not casting black people and shit he said in the past.
Mhm.
He made a really strange choice in this movie. And if you watch the movie, think about it in that context,
Mhm.
and then we'll talk about it because I don't want to ruin it. But he did cast some black people, but it was I'll just leave it there. I don't want to ruin
Really?
it. Yeah.
Okay.
It's
All
like
right.
a
Well,
an
I haven't
aside.
seen it, so I'm not going to say anything.
It's an aside. It's like an ensemble thing, but it's
Okay.
for anyone who's seen it in the chat, let me know if I'm off base here. But
So
it's not.
so you're saying this is not going to help his reputation?
I don't think so.
Oh
No.
Jesus, Shah, have you ever heard? I've never read or heard that, but
No, I was actually gonna follow up and ask B Show about it because I've never heard that before.
Yeah,
yeah,
because I
apparently
think
it's a thing.
even Chunky Larry said people are excited for this movie, but I'm not, and like he explains why people
Really
aren't. Yeah,
interesting.
he said something like something about, and I'm paraphrasing, like he makes stories. Black people don't have a, a place in his stories or something like that culturally. It was something strange.
I
Tim
mean,
Archie Bunker Burton.
Yeah.
Holy shit
well, think
balls.
about it though. Come to think about it, I don't recall any black characters in his movies, really. To be honest with you,
I mean, I don't know that I've examined this in this context,
well, I
but
haven't either. But just off top of
yeah.
my head, like
Ah,
main characters in his movies,
his
I don't know.
comment is that minority characters don't feel they fit his aesthetic, which would be sickly pale white people, I guess.
Well, he
Goddamn,
does. Yeah,
dude.
he does make gothy movies. That would be kind of like I don't know. He's kind of gothy. Look at him. He's a ghoul, Tim Burton. He's a fucking ghoul.
If you
I
can't tell,
wouldn't
he
even
writes
comment
himself
on
into
that.
all those movies as like the pasty, nerdy white kid who gets
Yeah,
the
he
fucking
likes
hot
pasty,
chick.
nerdy white
Yeah.
people. I mean, that's like, cause that's what he is. He's casting himself in male and female roles for 30 plus years. Wow, that's interesting. I mean, I don't want to go down this rabbit hole because I haven't really thought about it.
Yeah.
I don't have really, but we are going to go down a rabbit hole. So I'm not even sure how we're going to talk about this. So I think everyone at this point has seen Joker, the original Joker from a couple years ago, and it's won multiple Academy Awards. It made $1 billion. It was controversial but well received, and maybe one of the most significant male lead performances we've seen in an actor of the 21st century. And it was a lock that he was going to win all the awards, and it won Best Cinematography, and a woman won Best Cinematographer for the first time ever. Through that movie, and maybe some of the most beautiful cinematography ever, and it's got a great score. And so, what happens? Here's the deal. Here's what I'm gonna say. What I think happened. I think Todd Phillips did not want to make a sequel, but was pressured by Warner Brothers and given "fuck you" money to make a sequel, and he made a sequel to sort of walk away from this and end any sort of discussion that he wrote a movie about male rage and incel behavior and white rage and all the other things that were associated with this when it came out 3 years ago, whatever the fuck it was. That's what I think. Now, it's a $200 million budget, and it made infinitely less than what it was expected because of poor reviews. Now, I know what the ending is, and I will not say it here because it's only been out a week and I'm sure people want to see it. But to say I was shocked, Shah, is an understatement. This is probably the most fuck you movie maybe ever made of all time. And now Todd Phillips is walking this forward, dubbing down and basically doubling down and saying he wanted to disassociate himself from male hegemony or whatever. Shah, why did this happen? And should we have expected this to not be what we wanted it to be?
Well, I think the biggest shocker is the fact that it made 34 million opening. It's fucking horrendous for a movie that's 200 million, dude. This would have to make $500 million for them to call it a fucking profit,
That's what they said. Yeah, 400 plus.
34 million is embarrassing. And especially after all these terrible reviews, people aren't going to want to see this.
No, it's going to get destroyed now.
Yeah. So next week, it's probably going to do like what, 14 million or something. Like this is not going to make much money. This is probably going to make, if anything, like 70 million total.
Global, yeah. Maybe
yeah.
global.
It's not going to, they're taking an L. Should we have expected it to be not what we expected it to be? Yes, because they said it's a fucking musical. You shouldn't have expected Joker 1. I'm surprised by how much people hate it because that trailer that we watched fucking blew me away.
Gorgeous.
I was like, yo, this cinematography looks fucking amazing from the guy that did Road Trip. Like, are you fucking kidding me? This guy, he did like Old School, all these fucking. Some of my favorite
The Hangover and Road Trip.
Yeah. Like, I don't expect.
And the G.G. Allen documentary, hated. That's
but then he comes out with the Joker, and you're just like, what the fuck? Like, what?
And he wrote it. He wrote the movie.
Yeah. That's true, Kevko. This movie did worse than Morbius did opening weekend.
Morbius beat it. And Kevin Castle and CM Perk have joined the chat as well.
And it has a worse rating than Morbius too, which is crazy.
Yeah, a lot of people walked out from the musical numbers, and apparently Lady Gaga was signed on to it before there was even a script. Bisha, why? Like, what do we say? I mean, might be one of the most, like Tim Dillon said today, it's maybe the worst movie of all time. Like he was saying that like boldface.
Well, I mean, we've seen this before. You just said Lady Gaga signed on before the script was even written. We know in history of movies, there's been plenty of movies that have started even before films or scripts are done, and that's never a good thing. I heard a rumor, I saw it online that who's the head, James Gunn of DC now?
He refused to screen it for James Gunn and for screeners. They refused to speak to James Gunn.
And apparently James Gunn offered some liners or some pointers, and he completely disregarded them and said he's making his own thing. So yeah, that's the rumor is that they roped him in and paid him a shitload of money to do the sequel that he didn't want to do, so he did his own movie. I mean, it's not the first time it's happened, and usually things bomb when that happens, and this is what's happening. And especially with a genre like comic movies, adjacent, because this is not a comic movie.
Yeah, it really is.
You did not want to start to rile up the misogynist people online, because your nerdrotics and people like that are going to shred this even worse than it already is.
Oh yeah. And but it seems like in this case, B Show, a lot of the criticism is fair, if not accurate. I mean, long-term musical numbers and walking back the success of the first one, sort of mocking the fandom of it. And Warner Brothers giving him, as Chris Matthews said, he had full autonomy. He didn't have to screen it. Nothing. He was given a blank check and a blank slate. This is what he did to ensure that he would never be a part of this again.
This goes back to something Drew asked us on the Patreon a couple of years ago about pretentious filmmakers. And I was listening to an old Carpenter documentary from like 1979 when he first started. And he made a point about he didn't like Spielberg, De Palma, these guys, because he felt like they're pretentious. They've got messages and they're masturbatory. And movies are not about making you think necessarily. They're about making you feel. They make you laugh. They scare you. That's what we do. And to take that seriously is ridiculous. I don't know if I agree wholeheartedly with that, but it goes to that point of, it sounds like Todd Phillips thought a lot of himself, and so much that, well, I'm going to do my own thing and it's going to be this. And now that people don't like it, a fragile ego goes, well, it's all these misogynists and these I'll never do a comic movie again. It's like, well, you kind of didn't do a comic movie in the first place, and they loved you.
Which may have been why it was so successful, Bisha.
Possibly, but here's the thing. People went along with that, and comic fans were willing to go along that journey. But the second they don't like it, and we see this in wrestling and other genres too, it's like, break out the crosses, get back, heathens. Like,
you don't turn on the fan base.
Yeah, you pick up one end of the stick, you got to pick up the other, my friend.
Yeah. Now I'm going to say this. Now I know the ending. I just still can't believe it's the ending of the movie. So I'm not going to say. That's all. I mean, that's all I'm going to say. But I'm going to make a prediction here, Shah. Now, I'm not going to go see it, but I have a feeling it's beautifully shot, fantastic acting, gorgeous like scenery and everything else. It'll probably get some nominations for technical awards. And I'm going to say it's probably not as bad as people are expecting, sans the ending. I'm going to make a prediction that when I finally do see it on Max, which will probably be in a couple of months because of how bad it's done, that I'm going to say, oh, it wasn't that bad. It's not great. It's not wonderful, but it's not terrible. Do you think this is a case where maybe people are just crushing it because it didn't live up to the expectations and it's not nearly as bad as what people say it is?
For me personally, I think I'm probably going to enjoy it, to be honest with you.
That's what a lot of people are saying. Like, I don't
because I'm guilty of style over substance sometimes, and I think like I would fall for that and be like, "Oh, this movie's so gorgeous looking."
This could be Shah's movie of the year.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I don't know, because people hated Beau Was Afraid, and I was like, "Yo, I fucking love it."
Yeah, I had to see it a second time, but I fucking loved it the second time.
So I don't know, man. With movies like this that tend to be a little bit artsy and go take a left turn, I have to see it for myself to judge, because a lot of people hate the movies that I love. People hated Men. They said it was like the worst fucking movie of the year.
Fucking loved it.
I loved it. People hate Hereditary. People hate a lot of fucking movies that I love, Midsommar, one of the most hated movies.
Lighthouse, The Witch.
Yeah.
It's like this goes on and on and on, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know, man. And I think the guy fucking destroyed his own career, though, Todd Phillips. Because, I mean, if he is this big of a dickhead where he's like, yo, I'll take your money and I'll just do whatever I want to be, this bitter person that doesn't want to do this movie, so I'm just gonna selfishly take all this money and run it into the ground. Who would want to hire this guy again? Like I wouldn't. Leaves a bad stamp on his name.
Bisha, what do you think? Do you think this would be a thing that when you watch it, you're gonna go, "Oh my god, this was kind of amazing and I understand it," or what an absolute dog shit fuck you movie?
I think it's gonna be like pretentious art or pretentious painting. It's like, I really like the visual. I get what they were going for, but I don't like it. And it just, you know what I mean? Because like I think the three of us are nuanced enough where we can appreciate that stuff.
Yeah,
But
I think
at
I'm
the
gonna
same,
like that. Like you said, I think that's what I'm saying. I think if the three of us saw it, we'd be like, okay, if you take out this, this, and this, and probably that, okay, definitely that. Wow. Like, you know what I mean? But look what you just did. People said if you took out all the musical numbers and had a better ending, it would be a better movie. That's probably half the fucking movie.
yeah, and you know, to be fair, endings. We've talked about the third act syndrome before. A bad ending can kill a great movie.
Bisho, you don't know. Like, I know the ending. There is nothing in your life that you would have put on a gambling table to say this is how they ended the movie. If so, like I'm like it's really out of it's insane. Like, why would they do that?
I think I know it. I think somebody spoiled it for me, but I don't know if
somebody
that's
ruined it. Yeah, people ruined it for me too. And I was like, I thought it was a rib, and then I looked it up and I go, oh my god, they did what? That's the fucking ending. You know, Adam Roach says Joker 2, you get what you fucking deserve. Yeah. You know, Slave Cheek says it was like a Family Guy musical number. It wasn't. Joe Puncher said he just watched The Lighthouse and loved it. But, you know, listen, there's a lot of people that are very upset because they feel that they had an allegiance to this movie. This was something they looked forward to. It was presented in one way. And then it was a musical with an ending that, like, you know, oh, yeah, Bayou Geeks go Johnny Line. Yeah. No, this is like Shah. If you know what I'm talking about, this is like, no, they couldn't have done that. Why did they do this? Like, this isn't Oz. Like, why the fuck are they making an ending?
Okay, so yeah, we are talking about the same thing then.
No, that's the ending. That's the ending.
That's crazy.
Why would they do this? It's a fuck you. It's a fuck you in every capacity. And I'm glad I know the ending, honestly. Because if the Mets weren't in the game, I was gonna go last night, but obviously I won't watch the Mets. I watched the Mets instead. So yeah, you know, listen, let's shift because Terrifier 3 is opening right now. Okay. And it is tracking to have a better weekend than Joker. As far as I don't know, it is they say the budget is estimated at about 2 and change million. And they think its soft opening, guys, is 14, 15 million, which would make this maybe one of them. They said it's on track to be possibly one of the most profitable genre films of all time. And it's getting extraordinarily good reviews. People are vomiting. They're calling ambulances. They said they did not chintz on any of it. They did not dial down the gore, the violence, the disgustingness, the fucking nastiness of it. They amped it up with a little bit more. The first 10 minutes has people literally leaving the theater not to return. Somebody had to have an ambulance called in one of the early screenings because they were having chest pains, and they have an audience advertisement of people watching the first 10 minutes, real people, and they are visibly visibly sick. Like, they look like their lives are ending.
Yeah, I don't know how much I believe all that stuff, man. A lot of that is marketing. You know, that's like very old tactics in horror movies. Nah, dude, they've been doing that for years, man. You know,
did it with The Exorcist.
Yeah, but this is Terrifier. Terrifier delivers.
Well, they also did it with the last Terrifier. They said the same thing.
Are you kidding? Last Terrifier was disgusting.
Yeah, but I think at this point people know what they're getting into, man. I don't believe people are passing out and, you know, all that stuff. I think it's just a marketing tactic, you know. I get it. But other movies have done it. I know I'm gonna like this movie a lot, but the bigger the fandom gets, the more I'm gonna fucking.
It's pretty big now.
Yeah, I just, you know, there's going to be a lot of dick riding going on.
Yeah, Luke is saying in Australia, came out overnight. It's getting fantastic reviews.
The only thing that I've heard is that they don't really get into the backstory much.
I heard, yeah.
Like, it's just like kind of just like a.
We're not getting it.
You know,
no, we're not getting it.
Really? Just walking around killing people. Yeah, they didn't really get into like.
Yeah,
really, because that's what I had heard, is that this kind of wraps some shit up and makes things make sense.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
See, because like that's the thing is. Look, if you want to do gross out stuff, fine. And he, you know, turned down working with the studio or whatever distributor because he didn't want
it. Yeah, to make sure all of that's in there.
And to some point, I wonder what the end result of that is, because, like, yeah, he can make small budget movies that make money, and we know that gets people careers in Hollywood. But also doing this and going so hard, like, what, to appeal to maybe this movie makes 30, 40 million. That's great.
Jesus Christ.
But at the same time, though,
Fuck.
he's appealing now to hardcore, more, I don't want to say
Good.
sadistic.
Good.
And that's okay. But is that 30, 40 million going to repeat itself if he does another franchise or another film?
I don't know, B-Show, because I like, guys, let's rewind the clock. 2 years ago, this went from being something a small fraction of people were excited about online to being talked about on Good Morning America and all these other and having celebrities make videos of it and talk about it. And it going from supposed to be in theaters for a day, then it's in theaters, then it's in 200 theaters. Right, Shah, let's not forget what this did a couple of years ago. This was unprecedented.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, it's gonna make a shit ton of money, and I'm happy for him. I did find this real quick. Look at this. This is kind of interesting. Horror movies that made people faint. So all these movies use kind of the same marketing tactic. Which a lot of them honestly make sense. Like I can see Irreversible and
of course. Are you serious?
Blair Witch Project. Like I can see
people thought it was marketed as a real movie.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I mean,
is that cannibal movie, that French cannibal movie? I can't see it, so small, but the print.
Which one?
The second, I can't. It's too small.
It's Raw.
Raw's disgusting.
Yeah. Antichrist, Human Centipede.
Antichrist is disgusting. Human Centipede is disgusting.
Saw 3, Freaks. I don't know why Freaks would make people
because they're real people and people were uncomfortable seeing people.
Yeah, but
like
fainting is crazy. Texas Chainsaw, I might believe that.
That's hard. Texas goes.
Green Inferno, get the fuck out of here, man.
That's bullshit.
Good Night Mommy is good. Abbott and Costello. What?
Abbott and Costello?
Yeah. Meet Frankenstein. Yeah.
Meet Frankenstein. I was going to jokingly say that. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, look, we were a different society. We were a different society. Martyrs is fucked up.
I could buy Martyrs, especially if someone's really fucking.
Dude, that first scene in Martyrs where she's hacking the girl's back up close and you don't even know what's going on. Like, what the fuck is this? The fuck is this? Yeah, I mean, listen, we're gonna see the movie. I'm going Saturday morning early because I don't want people ruining it. B-Show, are you gonna make it this weekend?
I don't know. I think we're busy. Oh, probably not. My daughter's doing stuff with her friend Saturday, so I've got Brennan. And then Sunday, I think we're busy with volleyball all fucking day. So I'm going to try, man.
Shah, you going to try to see it this weekend?
So I started dating this new girl, and I try to get her to go. And she said, absolutely fucking not. There's no way I'm going to this fucking movie.
I don't know if that's an early date movie. Like, honestly, that's like.
That's almost as bad as.
Why don't you just watch Happiness at home? Like when it watches the Happiness.
Bro, okay. So 2.5 years ago, the first time I was single, I started talking to this girl. I think she was like half Mexican, half Asian. I don't really remember what the mix was.
She was Asian?
Yeah.
Mixed Asian?
Dude, the second date I had with her, because she was a very like artsy, like she was a cinephile, So I was like, yo, I have this movie called Happiness. It's supposed to be one of the most disturbing movies of all time. And I didn't even know anything about it, to be honest with you.
I know you.
I was like, would you watch this?
Just like Todd Sultan's, yeah.
And she was like, absolutely. Dude, we got into like 25 minutes and both of us were very uncomfortable. I was like, yeah, let's just.
Well, once the pedophilia starts and you don't know the person you're watching the pedophilia with.
Yeah,
and they don't know why you're watching the pedophilia. Yeah. Yes, Bisha, right? Like you didn't tell me about the pedophilia.
It's a fuck movie, especially because I didn't even know what the movie's about.
Comedic stylings of pedophilia, Bisha. That's
I've heard of panty droppers. That's when they like fucking tie them in a bow tie and never take them off again.
They get sand in their pussy if you play that movie for them.
That's
terrible.
Probably, that's no way to go. Listen, I'm excited. I'm excited that it's going to probably make more money than Joker. We're very excited for the film. Obviously, we'll be talking about it next week. But it's not a date film. And I'm a little annoyed that I'm going to show up Saturday to the theater and there's going to be a ton of people there. I'm going to be like a bunch of fucking new jacks. You know what I mean? Like, how dare you? But listen, we got a couple of cool trailers we want to get to before we head on over to the Patreon show. And one of them is a very interesting trailer that I just saw earlier today. Now, I am not unfamiliar with this story. Apparently, it's based on a true story. This looks like a really good movie. The premise of this movie is white power militias, like modern day, the rise of white power militias, and it's got Hollywood heavyweights in this fucking movie, and it's called The Order, And I got to tell you, I am over the moon excited to see this. I think it comes out at Christmas time. I don't know why they're putting a white power movie out at Christmas time.
What a way to
But
ring in the holiday season, you know?
yeah, White Christmas. Anyway, this movie, this looks like an advertisement. This movie is called The Order, and we're going to play the trailer now.
Now, in every revolution, someone has to fire the first shot.
Open the safe now! Now!
Let's go!
Now, I'm going to look this story up. I don't know how true this is.
I had a question about some flyers I keep seeing. White power. Is that the Aryan Nation?
Check out Jude Law's mustache.
You know what my problem is with every fanatic?
Oh, Mark Maron.
Have somebody to blame for your life.
You know those pamphlets you saw? It's not all. This was in June. A bomb went off at a synagogue in Boise. That's just the beginning.
Beginning of what?
This book holds our birthright.
It tells the story of a group of white
Fucking Turner
separatists
Diaries,
waging
man.
a race war against the United States government.
We don't advocate any of our members breaking any laws.
But some do.
Well, you must understand that. Being in a cult like the federal government.
All right, let's pause this for a second. Now, Shah, this looks like one of these movies that like gets you very excited because there's a lot of famous people in it, and it looks interesting. And you know, you don't see a lot of movies like this. You don't see Nicholas Hoult, the kid from About a Boy, playing a white nationalist in modern America, getting hunted down by Jude Law, and like, you know, it's weird seeing Hollywood people in almost like a, I don't want to say grindhousey, but kind of like an edgy plot, right? You just don't see movies like this in theaters.
Yeah, to be honest with you, this looks really good, man. I like these type of movies. Like, I love American History X. I love the old Nazi exploitation movies. Criterion's put out a bunch of these. What was it called? The Tin Drum? Do you remember that movie?
Yes.
With the little kid with the flute that doesn't like grow up, and he's like in the Nazi era. I love movies like that. So,
Jesus.
dude, I'll watch the shit out of this. You know,
yeah, I'm
even
excited.
The Green Room. The Green Room isn't necessarily like a Nazi movie, but it's
it is. It's a white power. I mean, the white power.
They're like punk new Nazis, though. I mean, this looks like fucking Nazis.
Yeah, this is white nationalist. Like Bisho, this looks like this looks like a movie you're gonna want to watch.
It looks really good. Yeah, I like the subject matter, like you guys said, but I even like the way it's shot. It looks like it's from like, maybe the 90s or something.
I would say, I was going to say that, guys. Doesn't this look like this is a movie that just got discovered from like 94?
Even look at that car. That looks like back in the day.
Yeah, this could take place in an we don't know the true story, but I wanted to stop it because it gets even more intense here. So let's roll with this trailer because this looks like a hot film, man.
Why'd you call me about this case?
That's Journey Folie.
Groups don't wear up bags.
Go, go, go.
There's 6 steps in that book: recruiting, training, fundraising, assassination.
What's 6? Large-scale domestic terror attacks.
Jesus. Wow. Jesus.
Now.
Get out of your den!
Wow.
Obviously good.
This is like the white power heat, Shah.
3.6 million.
What does that buy?
Buys an army.
It's happening.
War's begun.
So white nationalists are robbing banks to fund a race war.
From who?
So white heat? Is that what it is, John?
White heat. Well, white heat.
You are playing with fire.
You're not from here, huh? You following me?
Good morning, my brothers. We want you to join us on a mission, putting words into action.
Will you stand up and fight to survive?
Does Terror Scoop yours have a name?
In the book, they're called The Order.
Defeat. Victory. Defeat. Victory. Defeat.
Ty Sheridan, Journey Folie.
Damn.
Wow. Now, I don't know about putting this out in December, Shah, but I have to tell you, I want to go see this movie in a movie theater.
Sorry, I was on mute. I don't know if I would watch this in a movie theater. This seems like I could probably wait for this to come out on streaming. But again, dude, I love fucking movies like this, and I hope it is kind of back in the day. I don't really want it to be in the current era.
Yeah, I didn't see a cell phone anywhere or anything like that.
I think it is the 90s.
Could be
it
the
looks
90s.
like it's the 90s.
Lots of old Chevys running around.
Yeah, could be the 90s. B-Show, I don't know. This looks like a heavyweight movie to me, man. Shit.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look pretentious. It doesn't look, and not to use that word again, but like we've seen movies like this where it's like, oh, we're Hollywood and these people, but it looks really fucking good, and it looks like those roads they went down, and you saw the Nazi flag on the barn.
Yeah,
like it feels like I live out near the country, a place like if I get off on the wrong road, I might actually see that on an old barn out there.
Jesus,
I mean, it just seems authentic, and I like the star. What was his name with the mustache?
That's Jude Law and Nicholas Hoult, and then you have Ty Sheridan as the other kid and Journey Smollett.
Yeah, so you got a nice mix of like young, talented people, some with some names. Good story, looks to be intense. Yeah, what's not to like, man?
Yeah, Joe Punches says it's December shot because of the Academy Awards. This looks like a movie people get nominated for Academy Awards for.
Yeah, that's a fair point because that's the only thing that would really kind of make sense, you know, because around Christmas, like, why would you put out a Nazi movie? It's very weird.
I know, it's just
it's weird as shit, man.
Unless you're trying to appeal to the other side there that might actually see this as like a coming of age tale.
Well, the Turner Diaries was a real book. It was like a white power manifesto book that is not allowed to be printed because it was encouraging white separatists in the 80s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. It's about a fictitious race war. Highly controversial book. I think this is based on something that happened possibly a long time ago, maybe not that long ago. But wow. And I don't know. I just think December is a weird time to put a movie out like that, but it does look like white heat. Like some of these, it's a lot of it's like hillbilly bank robbers to fund the white power movement. It's like if the goal in Heat was to fund a white power movement.
Yeah, December we're getting some weird movies. I was expecting a bunch of Christmas movies. We're getting Nosferatu and a Nazi movie. It's like, what the fuck? Very weird.
Pick your poison, people. And a happy new year. Anyway,
I'm excited for Nosferatu though. No complaints from me.
Yeah. Oh, for real. Yeah. That's an interesting double header on Christmas Day. It's like, what do you want to see, honey? Nosferatu or the Turner Diaries movie? I'll probably pick Nosferatu for Christmas. But B-Show, we have that movie. Is that Slasher? Is that what that one's called?
Yes.
Okay. We have a movie called Slasher. And by the way, the horror films guys are just dropping like fucking, like I'm starting to feel like it was 2 years ago with the horror movies and the quality of the content. But this is a trailer for a movie called Slasher, and we're just going to check it out right now.
Yeah, I'm trying to make sure it's the right one because there's a couple coming up and one that's got a low budge.
This might have been, was it Bloody Disgusting? I think it's a Bloody Disgusting movie.
What I'm looking for.
I can't wait to compare 2022 to 2024 to see which is
I'm going to want to because I think it's going to be a lot closer than
man
thinks it is. Or it might be a dead heat.
This movie's coming out 2024 or 2025?
I'm not sure. I don't remember. I thought it might have been 2020.
Because there's one that looks like it has a killer that looks just like Jason in it. Is that the one you're looking for?
Yes. Bingo.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought this was interesting.
Sorry, I thought that was like a goof or something. So
Daddy's Head is coming out too, but that fucking cool looking movie with the bad name. This movie's called Slasher.
I'm assuming this is like an independent cheap movie.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Look at this. What do you think?
Why would you wear red in the middle of the woods?
Right. Way to camouflage, man.
Ooh, creepy.
This doesn't look that cheap. Whoa.
Creepy kids, John.
I love creepy kids. Whoa, look at that shot.
OMG.
He's just throwing it.
Oh, this is good because you're going to want everyone to get killed violently.
She looks like Misty Monday.
That's not her.
I know it's not her. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Murder is his family business.
Oh, this is creepy.
Wow. Yeah, this is creepy as fuck, guys.
Demonio rojo.
I like that mask.
It looks like the mask from The Mask.
Yeah, it does.
Like the
before
same
it
wood
takes over his
texture.
face. Interesting. I love that mask.
What the fuck?
Oh yeah, I want to check this out. It just looks like a genre slasher movie.
Yeah.
Interesting. Oh, and there's a Christmas movie that they're putting out too. Let's click on that Christmas trailer. I bet you that's a this is a horror Christmas trailer.
Feather Christmas.
Feather Christmas. Yeah, this. Oh yeah, it's Gravitas. This is a piece of shit. Oh wait a minute.
It's Mrs. Lay. It's an emergency.
Oh my God! Look at this.
This year, Santa got me a new best friend and a person.
Is this going to be a killer fucking chicken Christmas movie?
It better be a horror movie instead of a rom-com, John.
Yeah, I don't think this is a horror movie, dude.
Oh, I thought this was a killer chicken.
Thank you.
No, this looks like a sweet
Oh,
Christmas
I
movie.
was hoping it was a killer chicken movie.
Yeah, no.
Are you
man.
sure it's not?
Yeah, but I'm not sure Robin feels the same.
I don't know. It might take a twist. I don't know.
I think it's taking a twist. That'd be funny if it doesn't. That's only a minute. I just thought it'd be funny.
You ready for the
This
game?
looks like. I thought this was a killer Christmas movie.
No, it's not.
I was like, oh, is this a low budget killer Christmas movie? Well, look, it's in with the fucking horror movie. I don't know. Wow. Well, I got to tell you, I'm interested in that slasher movie, Shah. I want to know what it's about.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a big fan of slashers, period. So I'm still soft over here, man. Didn't really do anything for me. Looks very generic. It's just, I don't know. Generic kills. I mean, the mask is like a ripoff of a fucking mask. You can find that at Halloween Spirit. There was nothing that really stood out to me.
Yeah, it's just a low budget slasher movie, but there's, you know,
didn't look bad though for like a low budget slasher.
No,
It's not something that I gravitate towards. But if you're into slashers, then I'm sure you'd probably enjoy it. But for me, there's a certain limit I have with slashers, man. I can tolerate 5 a year, maybe. And those ones, they have to be better ones, like Thanksgiving and Friday the 13th. Those type of movies.
Right.
I'm not into the cheaper looking ones.
B-Show, I thought it looked interesting. I'm curious about the killer and the plot.
Yeah, good for what it is. I'm sure there's going to be some titties.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah,
gratuitous kills. So
Yeah.
I'm on board. I'm not a huge fan, like Shah said, of like the repetitive. Which is part of the issue I had with In a Violent Nature. Like, I don't want to just see a movie that's okay. We're just going to carbon copy this movie and do it again. And they did a ton of those in the 80s. Some good, some bad.
Yeah,
but I'll give this a shot. At least the aesthetic with the masks, with the weird family, with
there's a kid. Yeah, I don't
the
understand what's
resurrection
going-
and the chanting. That's a little bit different.
Yeah, it's probably some demon shit, but low budget. I might check it out. Anyway, we got one trailer left. Now, I just saw this, I think, yesterday. This is called Haunted Ulster. This is a UK horror movie, hence the title with Ulster in it. And we're gonna play it for you right now.
Hang on. This says 2023.
What?
Oh, here we go. Found it. See, a lot of this stuff is starting to get repetitive with the naming, so it's hard to find some of the trailers.
Especially when you call a movie slasher. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Okay,
It's like naming something movie.
Cineverse, Haunted Ulster. Yeah, this is the Bloody Disgusting Screenbox. Okay, this is coming exclusively.
We now have a very special live broadcast for Halloween. Spooky goings on in a Belfast home. This is Haunted Ulster Live. Viewer discretion is advised.
So it's one of those found footage
They've set up
80s
all
TV
sorts
show.
of impressive cameras, microphones, and sensors around the house. Stephen had to come into me a couple of times. He was that scared.
Oh, I love that accent. I love that accent.
You can find peace.
It's unmistakable.
So it's a haunted house TV show in the 80s in Ireland.
This might actually be better than Late Night with the Devil.
Yeah.
You are not going to want to avert your eyes for even a second.
People say if there were black footprints beside your bed, it means you'd been there.
We need the police. Bring the army in.
Man was found in Montgomery Street in Belfast city centre. The scene is still cordoned off.
Wow.
There seems to be a resurgence, Shah, of like these, or not a resurgence necessarily, but now is the time where there are these 80s and 70s and 60s footage horror movies when there used to be none, or it was such a niche. And now they're just popping off like flies. Why do you think that is?
I don't know, but I recently watched a Halloween movie that's kind of similar to this. It's the perfect thing to put on in the background during a Halloween party. Bisho, can you go on YouTube and search? I think it's called WNUF.
Oh, the WNUF Halloween Special?
Yeah. I recently watched that, and it's really cheesy, but it looks like it's literally off of your television from the 90s. Like it fucking looks like it. And it's a newer movie, which blows my mind.
Here we go. Make this a little bigger. I've heard of this too.
Access station. No, sir.
Vinegar Syndrome put this out, man. If you want to check it out.
Yes, I've heard.
I think it's on Shudder too.
This is 1987. The other movie was 1988. This is on Shudder. Yeah.
Stewart has a special Halloween treat in store for viewers tonight. He'll be leading a group of paranormal experts through the infamous Weber House.
Do you know what happened here in the Weber House? Some people got killed. Their son went haywire.
Blaine Stewart and his team of experts will conduct the first ever live on TV seance.
Evil works in mysterious ways, Frank. It's unpredictable.
There was higgledy-piggledy going on.
It's
There
scary.
was some craziness.
That's far out.
That far up.
Something strange going on in this house. Animal mutilation, paranormal disturbances, devil worship.
Hey, whoa, hold on. This is not staged. Hello?
Is this the work of the devil?
Folks, we are going where no camera crew has gone before. Father, perform the exorcism.
This is not some
That
Halloween
sounded awesome.
prank. The grisly evidence of the supernatural is real.
I'm so into this.
We'll be right back.
So wait a minute. Did this come out before Late Night with the Devil?
I don't.
Oh yeah, way before.
Oh,
Way
really?
before. Yeah,
Okay.
way before, dude.
Is this available on Shudder now?
I think so. I got it from Vinegar Syndrome. They put it out
Who
like
said he
2
watched
years
it?
ago.
It was all right. Oh no, Ghostwatch. I think he's talking about. A lot of people talk about Ghostwatch. My brother Mike's talking about Ghostwatch. Everybody's talking about Ghostwatch. That is on Shudder. Have you guys heard of Ghostwatch?
I have not. No.
No,
It's
but the
it's
WNUF Halloween Special came out in 2013.
Wow.
Yeah, it's from a while ago.
Holy shit. Yeah, Ghostwatch is just got re-released. It was from I think the late 80s, early 90s. And it's like it's another one of these type of movies, but it's incredibly popular.
1992?
Yeah, Ghostwatch. Yeah, you never heard of this before?
No.
Shah, you never heard of Ghostwatch either? It's super popular. It's on Shudder
heard
right
it.
now. Shudder's had it for a bit. You want to just play it real quick?
Is it a BBC kind of movie?
Well, this is all fake. This is like the fake.
Oh shit.
Yeah, this is fake.
Okay,
It was
so there's been
cast
a
as
bunch
if
of
it
these
was
movies
real.
now.
Look at this. I'm gonna lower that. Lower that. So Ghostwatch is a fake TV show from that time period. This is from 92?
I guess so, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, people thought Ghostwatch was really happening when it was released in 92. Yeah. This was like their version of Blair Witch, essentially, in the UK.
That's awesome.
But guys, look how cool this looks, because this is really 92. So yeah, it's a fake TV show that's supposed to be real.
Jeez, look at the carpet and the chairs, man. That takes me back.
Yeah. Like even the theme song is wild. Right there.
Yeah, I actually love the theme song. The
Yeah,
theme
my brother
song's the
Mike
best thing.
has been telling me to watch this for months, bro. He's like, dude, it's amazing. Like, because it's sold like Bisho, it's total, like they don't break kayfabe, like it's totally sold.
That's awesome.
Like people thought this was real.
And the BBC did this?
Yeah, but again, it was it was you were supposed to think it was real. Like it wasn't. They didn't never broke.
Yeah, but that's like ABC or NBC going, "Hey, let's do this in kayfabe."
Well, it's no different
everybody."
than fucking whoever put out Blair Witch saying that it was fucking.
Yeah, but
real.
that was an independent film. That wasn't like your network, your big network station. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, this is really, really popular. But yeah, I might want to check it. There's so much to watch. There's so much to watch. My God, Shah. Like I think there's still like 25 movies left to watch, like before the end of the year.
I think there's more than that, man. To be honest with you.
Jesus.
Well, apparently, according to what was it, Letterboxd, there's about 40 more that we haven't even heard of or talked about that are coming out too.
Oh yeah, don't trust that fucking that list was awful, dude. Holy shit.
We basically discovered that it was the Dave Meltzer top 10 of horror
No, of
movie
course.
lists.
Yeah. It's for
Dude, I
people
got
that don't
so
like
mad at that
who
show.
aren't like really into horror movies, but they like movies, so they think there are tours about horror. But listen, we have an action-packed Patreon show we're going to get to. So consider heading over there. You can go to patreon.com/Spitball Media. $5, the perfect time to get in. No Q&A this month, but we're going to have a special watch along that we announced earlier. The voting is going to be kept open until the very, we're going to close voting at midnight on that Saturday, quite frankly, because I don't know. I think, I really don't think, I think more people are going to vote and it's going to end up being a different movie. Call me crazy. I don't know why I feel that way, but let's get to the plug. Let's plug Deathmatch Outlaws. Let's plug the Drew Yari Experience. The Cassette Classics 86 on the YouTube, the Down on the Thundercast, Don Tony and Kevin Castle, and of course, Wrestling Super. We have Necromaniacs podcast, the Inhuman Experience podcast. We have Ringsiders. I just recorded with them over the weekend. Good friends in the UK, and of course, Mojo and Dirk's Most Dastardly Show. Hey now, Rich Dow. He's got a podcast. Garden of Doom. We got the Old Guy Metal Cast. We have MJW Games. Cherry Jesus on YouTube. Red River Podcast. That's Sam Hoyos. I think the episode with my brother Mark is dropping this weekend. That's my brother Mark and the band Shutdown. His video comes out. I've seen it. His video is coming out tomorrow, and his album is coming out tomorrow. And I think the interview is coming out tomorrow with Sam Hoyos and his band Playing Dead. They're always putting out the hits there. You got to check them out. Bayou Geeks. That's Fateh 316. And of course, the High Marks Podcast, the Midnight Mass Creature Cast, and the Weekly Detour with Anthony Alston and his pal Teddy. And we got Guns and Geeks Podcast, good friends of the show. Shah, anything on the old Planet Mondo?
Not at all, man. I'm gonna have the same answer I think every week until I change my
just
mind.
in case,
I don't see. Yeah, just go and subscribe.
Let them subscribe. Let them subscribe. And of course, they want to hit the subscribe button for B Show Brian channel. B Show, you might have a solo show possibly dropping on the Patreon for our pals here. Is that correct?
Absolutely. I'm going to be doing that in the next couple days, probably. And for the YouTube channel, I put up the House of Wax tourist trap video. Didn't think it was going to get much attention because it's not more, appealing to the season necessarily. But it just hit about 1,000 views for my humble little channel. That's pretty good. So
fuck yeah.
Thank you guys for checking it out and hitting like and subscribing. And I'm going to try to do some Halloween centric stuff, which is why I redid my setup.
Yes,
here,
I see that. And of course, they got to hit that subscribe button for B Show Brian. Got to hit the subscribe button for Planet Mondo. Hit the subscribe button for Spitball Media. And we're heading over to Patreon. We got an action-packed Patreon show for you. Thank you guys for hanging out with the chat. We really appreciate it. We hope you guys have a great holiday weekend, and we'll see you next week on Spitball Media.